You see, we often approach our days as if they were separate entities, discrete units of time that we must conquer one by one. We wake up, we go about our business, and we hope that by the end of it all, we've achieved something worthwhile. But what if I told you that this approach is fundamentally flawed? What if I suggested that the very idea of winning a day is a misconception born from our limited understanding of time and existence? Let's ponder this for a moment. What is a day, really? Is it simply the period between sunrise and sunset? Is it the 24 hours that our clocks so dutifully measure? Or is it something more profound, more interconnected with the grand tableau? You see, my friends, the day is not an isolated event. It's not a separate battlefield on which we must wage war against the forces of productivity and meaning. No, a day is but a ripple in the vast ocean of time, a single thread in the intricate fabric of our existence. And just as a wave doesn't suddenly appear out of nowhere, but is rather the result of countless factors and forces that have been at play long before it reaches the shore, so too is each day of our lives the culmination of all that has come before. To truly win the day before it starts, we must first liberate ourselves from the tyranny of linear time. We must recognize that the seeds of tomorrow's victory are planted in the soil of today, watered by the experiences of yesterday, and nourished by the very essence of who we are. Imagine, if you will, a great oak tree. When does the oak tree truly begin? Is it when the acorn first cracks open and a tender shoot emerges? Is it when the sapling first breaks through the soil? Or perhaps when it finally reaches its full height, spreading its branches wide to embrace the sky? The truth is, the oak tree begins long before any of these moments. It begins in the very DNA of its parent tree, in the cosmic dance of atoms that have existed since the dawn of time, in the primordial soup from which all life emerged. And so it is with our days, with our lives. Each moment is not a discrete unit to be conquered, but a flowing, interconnected stream of experience that both shapes and is shaped by our consciousness. Now, you might be thinking, but Alan, this all sounds very poetic and philosophical, but how does it help me win my day? How does it make me more productive, more successful? And to that I say, but you're still caught in the trap. You're still seeing your day as something external to be conquered, rather than an expression of your own being. Now, have you ever noticed how some days seem to flow effortlessly, where everything falls into place, and you feel as if you're dancing in perfect harmony with the universe? And then there are other days where every task feels like pushing a boulder uphill, where the world seems to conspire against your every move. What's the difference between these days? Is it merely a matter of external circumstances, of luck or chance? Or is it something deeper, something that originates within your own consciousness? You see, my friends, the secret to winning the day before it starts lies not in meticulous planning or ironclad discipline, though these can certainly be useful tools. No. The true secret lies in aligning yourself with the flow of existence, in recognizing your inseparable connection to the cosmic dance of life. When you awaken in the morning, before you even open your eyes, there's a moment, a brief, almost imperceptible instant, where you exist in a state of pure potential. In that moment, you are not yet the person you will be that. You are not yet burdened by the weight of your to-do list, nor are you confined by the expectations of others or even yourself. In that moment, you are pure consciousness, pure being. It is in this moment that the day is truly won or lost, not through any action you take, but through the state of consciousness you embody. If you can learn to expand this moment, to dwell in this state of pure potential, you will find that the day unfolds not as a series of tasks to be completed or obstacles to be overcome, but as a natural expression of your being. But how, you might ask, does one achieve this state? How does one expand this moment of pure potential into a sustainable way of being? Well, my friends, that is the great work of our lives. It is the journey of self-discovery, of self-realization, that all the great spiritual traditions have pointed towards. It begins with awareness, not the narrow, focused awareness that we often associate with productivity and success, but a broad, open awareness that encompasses the totality of our experience. It's the difference between looking at the world through a telescope, seeing only a small, magnified portion, and stepping back to take in the entire panorama of existence. At least, right now, as you listen to my words, become aware of your breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. Now, without losing that awareness of your breath, notice the sensations in your body, the pressure of the chair or floor supporting you, the temperature of the air on your skin. Now expand your awareness even further. Notice the sounds around you, both near and far. Become aware of your thoughts. Can you hold all of this in your awareness at once? This totality of experience, this, my friends, is a taste of what it means to be fully present, fully alive in the moment. And it is from this state of expanded awareness that we can truly win the day. You see, when we exist in this state of open awareness, we are no longer at the mercy of our habitual patterns of thought and behavior. We are no longer reacting automatically to the stimuli around us. Instead, we become conscious creators of our experience. From this place of expanded awareness, we can begin to notice the subtle currents of energy that flow through our lives. We can sense the opportunities that are always present, but that we often miss when we're caught up in our narrow, goal-oriented focus. We can intuit the right course of action, not through logical analysis, but through a deep, intuitive understanding of the interconnected nature of all. This, my friends, is what it truly means to win the day before it starts. Not about conquering time, but about transcending it. It's not about imposing our will upon the world, but about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of existence. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but Alan, this all sounds well and good, but what about the practical realities of life? What about our jobs, our responsibilities, our goals? And to that, I say, yes, indeed. What about them? You see, the beauty of this approach is that it doesn't negate the practical aspects of our lives. It doesn't mean we abandon our goals or shirk our responsibilities. Quite the contrary, when we approach our lives from this state of expanded awareness, we often find that we're able to fulfill our duties and achieve our aims with far greater ease and efficiency than before. It's like the difference between swimming against the current and learning to navigate the river's flow. When we're caught up in our limited, ego-driven perspective, we often find ourselves struggling against the very nature of reality. We try to force things to conform to our expectations, to bend the world to our will. And sometimes, through sheer force of effort, we might even succeed. But what an exhausting way to live. It's like trying to hold back the tide with your bare hands. You might manage it for a while, but eventually, inevitably, the ocean will reclaim what is its own. On the other hand, when we learn to align ourselves with the flow of existence, when we learn to win the day before it starts by embodying this state of expanded awareness, we often find that things unfold with a kind of effortless grace. It's not that challenges disappear or that life becomes a bed of roses. But we develop a certain buoyancy, a resilience that allows us to navigate the ups and downs of life with equanimity. Imagine, if you will, our skilled surfer riding a massive wave. From ashore, it might look like a death-defying feat, a battle against the overwhelming force of the ocean. But ask any experienced surfer, and they'll tell you that the secret is not in fighting the wave, but in becoming one with it. In that moment of perfect harmony, the distinction between surfer and wave dissolves. There is only the... And so it is with our lives, with our days. When we learn to win the day before it starts, we're not setting ourselves up for a battle. We're not armoring ourselves for conflict. Instead, we're tuning ourselves to the frequency of existence. We're becoming like that surfer, ready to ride whatever waves the day may bring. But now you might ask, does one practically apply this philosophy? How does one translate this state of expanded awareness into tangible results in the real world? Well, my friends, that's where the real adventure begins. You see, this state of awareness, this alignment with the flow of existence, it's not something you achieve once and then you're done. It's not a destination you reach and then plant your flag. No, it's a constant practice, a moment-by-moment choice to remain open, aware, and in harmony with life, It begins the moment you wake up. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone or jumping out of bed to start your to-do list, take a few moments to simply be. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Notice the quality of your thoughts. Are you already racing ahead to the day's challenges? Gently bring yourself back to the present. As you go about your morning routine, practice bringing the same quality of awareness to each action. Feel the water on your skin as you shower. Taste your breakfast fully. Notice the play of light and shadow as the sun rises. Now here's where it gets interesting. As you move into your workday, or whatever activities you have planned, maintain this thread of awareness. It doesn't mean you have to move in slow motion or spend hours in meditation. It simply means staying connected to this deeper current of being as you go about your tasks. You might find, as you practice this, that your perception of time begins to shift. Instead of feeling rushed or harried, you might notice a sense of spaciousness, even in the midst of a busy schedule. You might find that you're able to focus more deeply, to think more clearly, to respond more creatively to the challenges that arise. This is because in this state of expanded awareness, you're not just operating from the limited resources of your conscious mind. You're tapping into a deeper well of intelligence, the same intelligence that keeps your heart beating and the planets orbiting the sun. Now, I can almost hear some of you skeptics out there thinking, come on, Alan, this sounds like magical thinking. Are you really suggesting that by simply being more aware, all my problems will be solved? And to that I say, I'm not promising a life free from challenges or difficulties. What I'm offering is a different way of relating to those challenges. You see, when we're caught up in our habitual patterns of thought and behavior, we often meet life's challenges with resistance, fear, or frustration. We see them as obstacles to be overcome, as enemies to be vanquished. But what if we could see them differently? What if, instead of obstacles, we could see them as opportunities? Instead of enemies, we could see them as teachers. This shift in perspective is not just a mental trick. It's a fundamental reorientation of our relationship with reality, and it's a natural outgrowth of this expanded state of awareness we've been discussing. When we're fully present, fully aligned with the flow of existence, we begin to sense the underlying unity of all things. We begin to recognize that the challenges we face are not separate from us, but are in fact integral parts of our journey. They are the very means by which we grow, learn, and evolve. Have you ever noticed how some of the most difficult experiences in your life have also been the most transformative? How the darkest nights have often preceded the brightest dawns? This is not mere coincidence. It's a fundamental principle of existence. Just as a muscle must be stressed to grow stronger, just as a sword must pass through fire to be tempered, so too must we face challenges to realize our full potential. The key is not to avoid these challenges, but to meet them with openness, awareness, and a willingness to learn. And this, my friends, is where the rubber meets the road in our practice of winning the day before it starts. It's not about ensuring that everything goes according to plan. It's not about controlling every variable or eliminating all potential. It's about cultivating a state of being that allows us to dance with whatever the day brings, to find the opportunity in every challenge, the lesson in every setback. Imagine approaching your day not as a series of tasks to be completed or goals to be achieved, but as a grand adventure, an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Imagine meeting each person, each situation, each moment with a sense of curiosity and openness. What might you learn? How might you grow? What hidden opportunities might reveal themselves? This is not to say that goals and plans are unnecessary. Far from it. They can be valuable tools for focusing our energy and directing our efforts. But when we hold those goals and plans lightly, when we remain open to the wisdom of the moment, we often find that life has even greater things in store for us than we could have imagined. You see, the universe is far more vast, far more complex, far more intelligent than our limited minds can comprehend. When we try to control every aspect of our lives and we cling rigidly to our plans and expectations, We're essentially saying to the universe, I know better than you. My limited perspective is superior to your infinite wisdom. But when we learn to trust, when we learn to flow with the currents of existence rather than fight against them, we open ourselves to a kind of magic. We become co-creators with the universe, dancing in harmony with the cosmic rhythm. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Alan, you might say, this all sounds very poetic, very spiritual. But I live in the real world. I have bills to pay, deadlines to meet, responsibilities to fulfill. How does this airy-fairy philosophy help me with the nitty-gritty of daily life? I'm friends. This is the nitty-gritty of daily life. This is not some lofty ideal to be achieved in a monastery on a mountaintop. This is a practical, down-to-earth approach to living fully and effectively in the midst of the hustle and bustle of modern life. Hear how much of your stress, your anxiety, your feelings of being overwhelmed come from resisting what is, from fighting against the reality of your situation, from wishing things were different than they are. Now imagine approaching your day from this place of expanded awareness, this state of alignment with the flow of existence. You still have your bills to pay, your deadlines to meet, your responsibilities to fulfill. But instead of seeing these as burdens, as things that are happening to you, you recognize them as integral parts of your journey. You approach them with curiosity, with openness, with a willingness to learn and grow. You might find that solutions to problems arise more easily when you're not caught up in resistance and frustration. You might discover reserves of energy and creativity that you didn't know you had. You might even find joy and fulfillment in tasks that previously felt like drudgery. This is because in this state of expanded awareness, you're not just going through the motions. You're fully engaged, fully alive in each moment. And from this place of full engagement, of full aliveness, remarkable things can happen. You see, when we're fully present, when we're aligned with the flow of existence, we tap into a kind of intelligence that goes beyond mere intellect. It's an intelligence that encompasses our minds, our bodies, our emotions, and something even greater. Call it our spirit, our essence, our true nature. This intelligence knows exactly what needs to be done in each moment. It knows when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to listen, when to push forward and when to step back. It's the same intelligence that knows how to heal, wound, or digest food without any conscious effort on our part. When we learn to listen to this intelligence, to trust it and act from it, we often find that things unfold with a kind of effortless grace. It's not that challenges disappear, but we develop a certain buoyancy that allows us to navigate them with greater ease and effectiveness. Now, you might be wondering, how do I access this intelligence? How do I cultivate this state of expanded awareness? And that, my friends, is both the simplest and the most challenging aspect of this whole endeavor. You see, this state of awareness, this alignment with the flow of existence, it's not something you need to achieve or acquire. It's not something outside of you that you need to reach for. It's your natural state, your birthright as a conscious being. The challenge is not in attaining it, but in removing the obstacles that prevent us from recognizing it. These obstacles are primarily of our own making. They're the mental habits, the emotional patterns, the limiting beliefs that we've accumulated over a lifetime. They're the layers of conditioning that obscure our true nature, like clouds obscuring the sun. The practice, then, is one of gentle undoing. It's a process of slowly, patiently, compassionately peeling away these layers of conditioning. It's about learning to quiet the incessant chatter of our minds, to soften the grip of our habitual emotional reactions, to question the beliefs that limit us. This is where practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-inquiry come in. These are not about adding something to ourselves, but about creating the space for our true nature to reveal itself. They're like clearing away the underbrush so that we can see the path that's always been there. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to wait until you've cleared away all the underbrush to start walking the path. You don't need to be perfectly enlightened to start living from this place of expanded awareness. You can begin right now, in this very moment. Start by simply noticing. Notice your breath. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice the thoughts passing through your mind. Don't try to change anything, just notice. This simple act of noticing, of bringing awareness to your experience, is the first step on the path. As you go about your day, see if you can maintain this thread of awareness. When you find yourself getting caught up in stress or worry, gently bring yourself back to the present moment. When you're engaged in a task, give it your full attention. When you're interacting with others, really listen. Really be there with them. You might be surprised at how this simple practice begins to transform your experience. You might find that colors seem brighter, that food tastes better, that your relationships become richer and more fulfilling. You might discover a sense of peace and contentment that doesn't depend on external circumstances. And here's the real: as you cultivate this state of expanded awareness, as you learn to align yourself with the flow of existence, you might find that the very idea of winning the day begins to lose its meaning. Because when you're fully present, fully engaged in each moment, every day is already won. Every moment is a victory, a celebration of the miracle of existence. You see, my friends, the ultimate secret to winning the day before it starts is to realize that there's nothing to win and no one to win it. There's only this moment, this eternal now, and the choice to fully inhabit it. When we approach our lives from this perspective, we no longer need to armor ourselves against the day. We no longer need to steel ourselves for battle or gird ourselves for struggle. Instead, we can meet each day with openness, with curiosity, with a sense of adventure. We can trust that whatever the day brings, we have within us the resources to meet it. We can know that whatever challenges arise, they are not obstacles to our happiness, but opportunities for growth and self-discovery. We can recognize that every interaction, every experience, every breath is a gift, an opportunity to more fully realize our true nature. This doesn't mean that life becomes a constant state of bliss, or that difficulties disappear. But it does mean that we develop a certain equanimity, an ability to remain centered and at peace even in the midst of life's storms. We become like the eye of the hurricane, still and calm, even as the winds of change swirl around us. And from this place of inner stillness, or of alignment with the flow of existence, we often find that we're able to act with greater effectiveness, greater creativity, greater compassion than we ever could from a place of struggle and resistance. We might find that solutions to problems arise spontaneously, gifted to us by the universe. We might discover reserves of energy and resilience that we didn't know we possessed. We might even find that the very things we once saw as obstacles become stepping stones on our path of growth and self-realization. This, my friends, is what it truly means to win the day before it starts. It's not about controlling outcomes or forcing reality to conform to our wishes. It's about aligning ourselves with the deeper currents of existence, about recognizing our inseparable connection to the vast intelligence of the cosmos. It's about waking up each morning with a sense of wonder and gratitude, knowing that whatever the day may bring, it is all part of the grand adventure of being alive. It's about approaching each moment, each interaction, each breath as an opportunity to more fully embody our true nature, to more fully express the unique gift that each of us is to the world. So as you go forth from this moment, I invite you to experiment with this approach. Don't take my word for it. Test it out for yourself. See what happens when you start your day, not with a list of tasks to be accomplished, but with a commitment to remain present and aware. Notice what shifts when you approach your challenges not as problems to be solved, but as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. You might find, as so many have, that the simple shift in perspective changes everything. You might discover that the key to winning the day has been within you all along, waiting only for you to recognize it. Remember, my friends, you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself in human form. You are not a tiny, isolated ego struggling against a vast and indifferent cosmos. You are an integral part of the cosmic dance, the unique expression, the infinite creativity of existence. When you truly realize this, when you embody this truth in your moment-to-moment experience, you'll find that there's nothing to win and nothing to lose. There's only this moment, this eternal now, and the choice to fully inhabit it, to fully express the miracle that you are. So go forth, my friends. Meet each day not as a battle to be won, but as a gift to be unwrapped, a mystery to be lived. Trust in the deeper intelligence that flows through you in all things. Remain open, remain curious. And remember, the day is already won because you are already whole, already complete, already perfect just as you are. The journey of self-discovery, of self-realization is not about becoming something you're not. It's about peeling away the layers of conditioning that prevent you from recognizing what you've always been. In this recognition, in this remembering of your true nature, lies the ultimate victory. It's a victory that's available to you in each moment, with each breath. It's a victory that transforms not just your day, but your entire life. So here's to winning the day before it starts, my friends. Here's to living fully, loving openly, and embracing each moment as the precious gift that it is. Here's to the grand adventure of being human, of being alive, of being a conscious participant in the cosmic dance of existence. May you go forth with courage, with compassion, and with the unshakable knowledge that you are in each moment exactly where you need to be. May you recognize the perfection inherent in each experience, each challenge, each breath. And may you always remember that the ultimate victory is not something to be achieved, but something to be realized, the victory of being fully, authentically, gloriously you. Thank you, my friends, for joining me on this exploration. And may your days be filled with wonder, your nights with peace, and may you always dance in harmony with the cosmic rhythm. The day is yours, not to conquer, but to embrace, to celebrate, to fully live. Go forth and shine, for that is your true nature, and the world is waiting for your light.